Alright folks, out on another walk, and I've come across this little bamboo viper that looks like it has a meal in its belly, but was slithering along a drain, a little shallow drain on the side of a road that was just deep enough where it couldn't really figure out how to get to the edge. So I've just brought it over to this tiny little stream here, and I'm putting it in a spot where I think it'll be able to slither off and rest and digest its meal. It's a small meal, it's just a tiny bolus, it's hard to see right now. But I wanted to take a hot second to show you guys. As is typical in bamboo pit vipers found in the morning with a meal in them in a spot they can't get out, this one's been a little bit grumpy. And I've got a longer lens on now, so I'm not quite as close as I look. My hands are nowhere near as close as they look. The lens is a little bit close, but yeah, I mean, pretty happy to be able to help this one, even though it's a little bit grumpy with me, and pretty cool to find in the morning. Obviously these are nocturnal snakes, and this one was probably having a pretty good time last night acquiring its meal. But I'm going to just finish up the footage here and then go ahead and just stick it on this little tree right next to me. But yeah, fun find. Gonna go keep walking. I'm in a spot where I usually find a good amount if the conditions are right. It's a bit cool and breezy today, you might be able to hear. But we're gonna give it a shot anyways, and I will pop back on if I find something else. Alright everyone, we have our next snake, and it's a bit of a surprise, especially again during the day, but this is a Plumbus water snake. These are an aquatic species of snake. They are mildly venomous, but the venom actually can be a bit uncomfortable for people. Not considered dangerous though, and they're normally nocturnal. This one I found kind of crossing an area where there is wetland, so I'm going to make sure it ends up back in some of this wetland water when I'm done filming here, because it looks like it's possibly a little bit disoriented, like maybe it was moving between ponds at night and then got caught in between when daylight came. So okay, so yeah, not too unusual to bump into that kind of a situation, but still kind of a treat to be able to see a Plumbus during the day. And we've seen these on the vlog before, so I don't need to spend too much time talking about them, but like I said, fully aquatic, rear fang venomous, mildly uncomfortable to people, but not considered dangerous, and kind of like a mini anaconda when you look at them up close. And you can see here some defensive behavior. It's S-ing up a little bit, but looks a little bit tired, so I'm going to go ahead and put it back and get on my way. I'm just about done, so this will probably wrap us up for the morning here, and we will check back in with you guys when we go out again and find something else. Alright folks, we're out on another walk, and we have come across one of the coolest things you can find in Hong Kong, a very rare wattle-necked softshell turtle. And this is a very large adult, and it looks like it's a male. I'll try and put my hand out for reference. You can kind of see here, this is a very big mature turtle, and like I said, these are pretty hard to come by, and really happy to have the chance to be able to film one tonight. So they're kind of interesting. I'm from the US, and I'm used to soft shells, especially big ones like this, living in slower flowing bodies of water, not really these clear shallow mountain streams. So it's kind of cool to see something this big in relatively shallow streams. I mean, there's lots of deep pools, where these could hide and fish and things like that. But yeah, just an interesting thing based on what I'm used to from back in the U.S. So this is right off on the side of a pretty big stretch of river, so I imagine when this thing decides to run off, that's going to be it. But really cool. We can see here the shell, there's some interesting markings and coloration, nothing really spectacular, but it really looks like a river rock up close. There's just random patterning here, and you can see on the back there's a lot of these skin nodules here and up by the neck as well. I'm actually going to have to do a little bit more research on the species myself after this, but we'll definitely get this one up on the website, and really happy to have it in the vlog for you. So I think we're just going to spend a few more minutes and try and get some still photos before this thing heads off while it's in the shallows. But happy to have it on the vlog here for you. And yeah, really cool find. Very exciting. Alright folks, well, while we've been watching the wattle-neck, it just started digging and burying itself right into the riverbed underneath some pretty substantial rocks. So we've got some trees here. Under some pretty substantial rocks, you can see here, I mean, these aren't small rocks, and it's having no problem digging right into and hiding in these really heavy river rocks. A really powerful animal, actually. Very cool behavior to observe. And I guess you can see here how they can be so hard to find and how they can survive so well in these river habitats. I mean, this thing is right in front of my face, and I could easily walk by this if I didn't know it was here. And it's, you know, in a couple of inches of water. So very cool behavior to observe. I know with the glare of the light here, it's a bit tricky to see. Let me try and get around at another angle. There we go. But yeah, you can see here, I mean, that's the turtle right there, and it's a large turtle, and you can barely see it. It's very happy to have dug itself into the riverbed here and hide like this. So very cool observation. Like I said, we're gonna, I mean, it's hanging out, so we'll try and get some more good photos of this behavior and anything else we can grab. And if there's anything else cool that pops up for video, we will include it here. Alright, so we're done with our photos, and the turtle's now kind of moved off into some more open water here. So I think right now it's just kind of sitting here like looking like the mossy rocks it's right next to. But it might swim off in a minute. It's kind of hard to grab focus here too, so I think we'll close off the session with this turtle here. But yeah, probably one of the coolest finds we've had all year. Really awesome. Alright everyone, we're actually trying to finish up our walk here, and we came across this amazing juvenile wattle-necked softshell turtle. And what a cool animal. Now he might take off real quick, so I'm just going to readjust so I can be in a better position. So give me 1 second, I'll pop back on. I think he's going to stay put for us, but if he shoots off, that'll be it, because we're not going to interfere with him. And he was just sitting in the shallows here as we came up. But you can see here there's a significant morphological difference between the juvenile and the adult, and I'm sure between individuals as well. But the shell here has a very distinct heavy patterning. There's a really dark undercolor, almost like a black shell, with these really clear brown spots all over the back. And actually this looked a lot like a leaf to me when I first walked up to it. Quite different from the adult that looked like a big stone. And the other thing I noticed just a minute ago when its head was out is the head has got some really interesting coloration too, a little bit of striping down the sides you can see there. And as is typical with a lot of different reptiles, this juvenile, generally speaking, a bit more colorful than the mature adult, but still just a fantastic animal. And I just can't believe that we've got an example of a juvenile and an adult all on the same walk here. So this is a really great trip. I think we're not going to bother this one too much longer. It's probably looking for a meal tonight, so I don't want to stress it out more than we have to, but really fantastic find. Super excited to be able to bring you two of one of the more rare species of turtle here on what's turned out to be a pretty epic walk. We also found a few diamondback water snakes, but they slithered away before I could get a chance to film, so if we see anything else worth note, I'll definitely pop back on. Otherwise, this will make a pretty amazing close to the evening.